People always ask how I balance my family life with 400 shows a year. I'm just doing what I love with the people I love. It's my magic life. All right, guys. So tonight's episode's a little different than normal, but we do want to show you everything, right? My mom died. We did a video. Our dog had a tumor we had removed and put down. We showed that on video. Natalie's hospital adventures are really hard to record and capture for you guys. Our most recent hospital stay, we were in a room with other people, so filming in there just didn't seem right. Even talking, whispering didn't seem right.
When you're in the middle of a thing like that, your mind doesn't go to, oh, let me grab the camera. It goes to, let's get to the hospital now.
We're in survival mode.
Yeah, it's not a natural thing to go pick up the camera.
So, start back 4 years ago.
4 years ago, in 2022, I had what I thought was heartburn, and I kept getting it over and over and over again. It was horrible. Like, I was eating, what are they called? Tums, and that wasn't doing it. So I called and made an appointment with my doctor, because I was like, this isn't normal. Before I could get to the doctor appointment, doesn't that sound familiar now? I ended up at the end of the day, we had an awesome date day and everything. We got home and I was hugging and loving on my kids, and then I thought it was heartburn. I said, Wes, do we have Tums in the house? And he said, I think we have to get them from the RV. So he went out to the RV. By the time he got home, I was on the floor just in so much pain.
And when you say time to get home, it's 50 yards from the front door.
Right, from the RV to, yeah. And so we just headed to the hospital. At this point, Willow was still with us. So she was with the boys who were 1.5 at that point, and Lana. And went to the emergency room in horrible pain. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm too young to have a heart attack, but I think I'm having a heart attack. And ended up, it was my gallbladder. So they ended up taking my gallbladder that night and then sent me home. And I, figured that was the end of that, and we're good to go. Obviously, they send you home with some pain medicine, and I woke up at one point, and Wes actually got me and Lana and Willow to sleep out in the RV so that I wouldn't be, I could just sleep and not have to get up with the boys if they woke up. And so Wes slept inside with the boys. And at one point I woke up, and I guess I didn't have the medicine out in the RV, because I remember I told Lana, I said, Lana, can you go tell Dad I need medicine? I need medicine, Lana. And she went out, and I was like, okay. And then I rolled over to my left side, and I just felt this boop, boop, boop in my belly, and then just horrid pain. And I said, Willow? And she jumps off the bunk bed. She's, what? Get Wes. And so she ran inside and got Wes. I was like, I don't think it's supposed to hurt this bad. I don't think. And he was freaking out. So he's calling the doctor, and that's not the right one to call. And then he called my dad, and my dad was like, it sounds like you just need to go back to the hospital. And so we did.
Her dad's a cancer doctor for kids, so we're calling him for...
We call him because
we don't know medicine stuff.
We call him for everything. So we went back to the hospital, and they didn't know what happened. So, I mean, they gave me stuff to get the pain to go away. But then they're like, I don't know why this isn't good. This isn't normal. So they ended up putting me out again and doing exploratory surgery to see what was wrong. And they still said they didn't know what was wrong. I guess they did a CT scan, or they did something else. Anyway, they finally figured out that I had a bile leak. I ended up with a bile leak after the gallbladder removal. And so they had to put me out again. This is the third time in 4 days. And at this point, I'm asking the anesthesiologist before I'm going under, this is my third time going under in 4 days. Am I going to have memory issues? Am I going to remember my family when I wake up? And the best thing she could tell me was, well, that's never happened before. You should be okay. I know she has to cover her butt and in case something does happen, but I'm like, that's not the most comforting thing you could tell me right now. But I ended up fine. But anyway, they went back in to put a stent in,
Michael Jackson didn't have memory
Um,
issues with propofol.
yeah. Well, I didn't know. Um, so I mean, this was my first surgery, was getting my gallbladder taken out. So I didn't know. Um, so they went in and put a stent in and fixed that. And I do remember the doctor like came in, I'm gonna put a stent in. There is a really small chance of pancreatitis and whatever else he said. But I remember him saying that, and I'm like, oh, small chance, okay. I don't even know what pancreatitis is at that point. And then I come out and I'm like, okay, and they're thinking everything should be fine, wrapped up. And then I just start not feeling good. And like it's getting worse. And they want me to start eating, but they want me to start eating with broth. And I ate some broth, and I only ate like 3 bites, and it made me feel horrific. And I just pushed it away. And my mom was like, you need to eat if you want to get your strength back. I was like, I just don't feel good. And all that day, Wes is gone doing magic shows.
This happened in the middle of the summer. We have 183
Yeah.
shows during the summer.
And I wanted him to go do magic shows. So he was gone doing magic shows.
And I'm sleeping on the couch next to her.
Right. My mom was with me. Yeah, he was coming back every night. But my mom was with me at that point, and I was like, I don't feel good. I really don't feel good. And I told the nurse, I was like, really, oh gosh, I don't feel. She's like, well, it's probably gas. You know, they go in and all that stuff. It's probably gas. I was like, oh. And then by the time the night nurse came in, which her name was Laura, I remember, I loved Laura. She was the bestest nurse ever. And I was like, Laura, I've been laying on my left side all day. They told me it was gas and I really don't feel good. And she goes, girl, you've been laying on your left side all day and you still don't, it's not gas. I was like, well, what's wrong? She's like, I don't, this is the night nurse now.
They said it was gas because they have to pump her with air.
Right.
To do
surgery.
the surgery.
So they figure it's just after surgery gas. And then I remember at one point I puked. And I was like, I really don't feel good. I really don't feel good. And then the pain got so bad. Wes was the only one in there with me. And I was like, oh my gosh, Wes. Oh my gosh, Wes. This hurts. This hurts.
This is like 3 in the morning.
Yeah. And then he's like, I'm going to go get a nurse. I'm like, don't leave me. Because I don't know what's going on. I'm scared out of my mind. I want him next to me. And he's hitting I guess you hit the call button by that point. I don't know. But I do remember saying, Wes, am I going to die? And
it took her like 2
like
minutes to get that sentence out. Am I gonna die?
I don't remember it taking that long. I thought it was, Wes, am I gonna die? Like it seemed like that. And then I don't remember. The next thing I remember is the nurse was shining a light in my eye. And I'm like, what the hell? But apparently I passed out, which was the worst time to pass out after you ask somebody if you think you're am I gonna die?
So now I've jumped on top of her and the call button's behind her head. I'm on top of her hitting the panic bell because I can't leave her. I'm freaking out. I'm shaving my head. I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do. I thought I lost you.
Yeah. So they so that's where Laura came in, and I remember hearing her go, I don't care if he's asleep. I need to talk to him. Like she was adamant of getting somebody on the phone that could do something. And I had pancreatitis, like bad. Like numbers were extremely, extremely high.
You say I exaggerate, but it's something like 60 is pancreatitis levels, and yours was like at 6,000, 600, 6,000.
Whatever. It was uber high. Like they were like, this is one of the highest we've ever seen. So then I end up with a Dilaudid machine that I can just push the button in, and it doesn't matter how many times you push it, it'll only give you medicine every 3 minutes. And trust me, I was looking at the clock for the longest time. Like I would not wish that on my worst enemy. It's awful.
And the machine tells you regulations, like when they change the thing. You got the
button 200 times. She was only allowed 50 doses. Like
you got denied 150 times.
Yeah. That's how bad the pain is. Like it's bad. Like you're thinking it had to have been 3 minutes by now. Dang it. Like, but anyway. But yeah, so then I was in the hospital for quite some time with all that going on. And then I finally got let to go home, and I was home for 6 days, and I started not feeling good. I still wasn't feeling good. Like I was still in a lot of pain. And so I called and asked if I could have a refill on medicine. And they were like, at this point, you should not need the medicine. We can't give you a refill. And I just like I broke down on the phone and I just okay, thank you, and hung up. And the nurse called me back within like the minute, and she was like, "Sweetheart, if you're still in that much pain, I think you need to go to the hospital." And I was like, "Okay, I hear you," but I didn't want to go to the hospital. Again, this is summertime. Wes has gone to a show, so he's not home. But Willow and Lana and the boys are downstairs, and I was up in my bedroom, and I went to get up and go and use the bathroom. Which, how far is that? 50 feet.
Right.
It's not that far.
It's
from
a
the
bathroom
bed.
that's connected to our bedroom.
Yeah, bed to the bathroom, and my vision went down to a pinpoint. I couldn't breathe right. I felt like I was going to pass out by the time I sat down on the toilet. And I told that to Wes, and he was like, "You need to go back to the hospital." And I was like, "I don't want to go back to the hospital. I just got home." He's like, "You need to go to the hospital." So then he ends up calling my dad because I'm stubborn. And my dad's like, "Go to the hospital." And so our neighbor across the street was really, really nice.
I'm on the road driving to shows. I can't touch her. I can't be near her. I'm on the interstate. I can't do anything for her.
Yeah. So he came over, and Willow was trying to help me down the steps, and I had to stop halfway down the steps and just sit down because I couldn't go that far without tons of pain and feeling I was going to pass out. I was going to pass out. And I get in his car and I'm just feeling awful. And I'm like, "Thank you. I'm so sorry. I'm going to do thank you. Oh gosh. Oh gosh." I had a Walmart bag and I'm just praying, "Dear Jesus, please, I don't want to puke in my neighbor's car. Like, I don't want to accidentally get it everywhere. So please, God, let me get to the hospital before I puke." I know he would have understood, but I still would have felt horrific. So he took me to the hospital, and they ended up giving me another CT scan. And I remember being back there and I was in so much pain, and they were like, "You have to put your legs down." And I was like, I don't know if I can. And the lady was like she had to get stern with me because I was in so much pain. She was like, "We need you to lay down so we can do this." And I was like, "Okay, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. It just hurts." And I just, yeah, it was bad. And so they finally got the CT scan, and all they would give me was morphine, but morphine doesn't work for me. Dilaudid definitely does. That sounds like such a druggy thing to say, but by that point, I knew that. And so they had given me morphine in the emergency room. The doctor.
We found out after all these years, 4 years, you have different receptors for drugs. The receptors that fills her itch, that takes care of her pain, is Dilaudid.
Right.
Morphine doesn't work.
Yeah, morphine doesn't work.
They tried. Did they try ketamine this time?
They tried. No, that one guy did give me fentanyl before I had my surgery, and that works. That does work. But I would never ever try that if it wasn't. Oh my gosh, that scared me at the same time. He's like, "It's fentanyl, but it's not from the streets." And I'm like, "Okay." I'm like you hear all the bad stories, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I was scared, but it worked in like seconds. I was like, "Whoa."
But Dilaudid works in seconds.
Dilaudid works not as fast as fentanyl.
Oh wow.
Fentanyl worked. It was like 1/1000, bam, whoa. Dilaudid's like 1/1000, 2/1000. You start feeling this rush go down, and then once that rush hits the spot that has pain, the pain's gone, which is plenty fast. But yeah, fentanyl was just bam. It was weird. But anyway, so the doctor came in and he goes, "All right, so you have
large and countless
blood clots in your lungs. The good news is it's doing what it's supposed to, and they're going outwards. And
your lungs are like a tree,
like, yeah,
and it's on the branches."
Was like, "But you're gonna be. The bad news is you're gonna be admitted." And I was like, "Okay." I said, "Okay." And I was at this point, I'm like, I'm really disappointed, but guess it was good I came to the hospital because you can die from those damn things. But I did ask him, I said, "Okay, well, would it be possible for the pain? Can I get Dilaudid? Because morphine, it doesn't work." He goes, "Honey, you can have whatever you want." I said, "Okay, thank you." Like, I liked that doctor. He was nice. But then I end up in the hospital again, and that's like an additional week, right?
It was like 35 days total with everything.
Yeah, I think that was an additional week or so. And I was still having pain when I left, Like I was having this sensation of just something flipping over, and it was making me go forward like that. And
When you came back from getting the stent in originally, it looked like a ghost was stabbing her in the chest.
yeah,
And the reason I say a ghost stabbing her in the chest, because she just lay there and she go,
yeah, and just oh yeah,
she was coming up out of the bed.
yeah. And so
That
they
turned
were
into what
like,
she called a flippy floppy, from
yeah,
a stabbing to a flippy floppy.
yeah.
But the flippy floppy is her cute name for it feels like an organ is turning over in my.
Yeah. And so they were like, well, that might be the stent. That might just be blood clots working themselves out, whatever. And I was like, okay. And then that didn't go away. And so I called and I asked when I went to months later in October, because this was all in July, from the end of June through like the end of July. And I asked in October when I went in to get my stent out, I was like, I have this thing. And he was like, oh, that'll be, give it a couple weeks after the stent's out and you'll be fine. I was wrong. So I still had.
I remember you crying on the way, happy to get that stent removed because you couldn't wait to get rid of that flippy floppy.
Right. Yeah. I thought it was going to be it, but it wasn't. I still had flippy floppy a month later after getting the stent out. And then I started having pain that felt like pancreatitis pain that would take me down every 3, 4, 5 weeks. More like 3 to 4 weeks. Every once in a while, it would give me a lung, and I would be like all excited, like, maybe it's not coming back, maybe it's done. And then it would hit me. But that would take me down for like a day, and then your next day, you just feel like you were run over by a bus and you just had this yucky feeling. And so I called the doctor that took the stent out. He wanted nothing to do with me anymore. I called the doctor that did the gallbladder surgery and was with me the whole time with the bile leak and everything else. He wanted nothing else to do with me. So I went to my primary care physician, and so he referred me to a gastroenterologist. I went to their practice, and I had a F&P. I can't remember what but nurse practitioner. I can't remember I guess it's family nurse. I don't know. Anyway, whatever, nurse practitioner. And she tried a few things. And then my second visit, she brought in another doctor, and she said he would definitely be able to figure it out. He's the best one in Virginia. And so I went back. All he did was make me a guinea pig and want to try medication after medication. And then
one of the medications made it worse, and he said that's impossible.
Right. Yeah. He was like, when it hits, take this medication. I'm like, okay. And so I did. And then I felt even worse. Like it elevated the pain beyond the pain level that I was at, which was horrific. And I told him that, and he goes, that's not possible. I'm like, were you there? No. And every time I went there, I had to explain everything all over again. And every time I went there, he looked at me like I was stupid. And then finally, he said, okay, we're going to do this one last scan test. It was a test. And then, yeah, he literally did that. And
these appointments are 2 months, 3 months in between each other.
Right.
So all the time, she's in pain daily with the stabbing, and then every 3 to 4 weeks.
And it's just this thing that you're carrying around on your back, wondering, okay, we plan this day, or we're going to do this. Am I going to ruin it for everybody? And it sucks. So anyway, I was highly disappointed with that doctor, who was the best in Virginia. Bullcrap. And so I kind of I didn't know what to do after that. Went back to my primary care, and he tried a couple things. Bless his heart, he tried. But he's general practitioner. He's not a specialist. And then we decided to go. He actually referred me to Johns Hopkins. Eventually, he referred me to Johns Hopkins, but Johns Hopkins only takes certain type of insurances, and if you don't have any of those particular health insurance, you have to pay out of pocket. And just to walk in the door is $500, and then they want to redo everything on their own.
Out of pocket.
all tests done there. They want to redo everything.
All the CT scans, all the
Right.
MRIs, all the
And
other tests she had.
and I'm like, well, I have kids to raise, and I'm not gonna, you know, sell our house to be able to. We got to figure somewhere else. So then, and of course, each of these referrals takes months to even get somebody on the phone. So you finally get somebody on the phone, and then you're told, oh, you can't go there because you can't afford them. So anyway, so next I get referred. I went down to Roanoke, and this lady.
That was your dad.
Yeah, my dad got me in Roanoke, and this lady was real nice. And I about cried when she said she believed me, and she did, she did endoscopy and a colonoscopy all in the same day, just exploratory to see what she could see.
Everything was
CT
great.
scan again, I do believe. Yeah, everything came back absolutely fine. And so then she referred me to a lady in Christiansburg. And the lady in Christiansburg tried a medication, didn't work. And then I ended up, before I could talk to her about that medication, because she wanted me to give it time and then to see what the difference was between taking it and then coming off of it and see if there was any difference in symptoms. So I had an appointment set up with her to talk. And I ended up going to the emergency room, and this was this past January. I ended up going to the emergency room because I was in a lot of pain and it wasn't going away. And so Wes made me go. And of course, they did a CT scan and they did blood work. And he was like, nah, and sent me home. Well, I ended up talking to the lady, the doctor from Christiansburg, and she goes, they just sent you home? I was like, yeah. She goes, something pissed your liver off. Your liver enzymes were through the roof that night. And there's a shadow here on this CT scan. She goes, I'm not sure I'm the person that you need to see. I'm going to refer you to VCU. They have more resources for this type of thing. So another referral. I got to see the doctor in February, and then she also put in for an MRI, which I got in March. And the MRI, so I saw the doctor, and they were like, definitely need.
But stuff was building, not 3 to 4 weeks. We had some times in January.
Yeah, it's multiple days in 1 week.
She had 6 days in a row of pancreatitis-like symptoms.
Yeah, it was getting.
It was not going away.
Right, it was getting worse. And so at that February doctor's appointment, they were like, okay, yeah, MRI is what we need. So I'm glad you have that scheduled, and we really need to see what's on the MRI to see what our next steps are.
You're shaking the whole camera.
I'm sorry, I don't feel good. And so got the MRI done, and the results of the MRI are that I have a 1/2-inch stone at the top of my bile duct, even though I don't have a gallbladder anymore. And it's, at first the doctor was like, well, I don't think it's been there for 4 years. And then after the surgery, he was like, so for 4 years, you've had this stone. Like, it's changed their tune. But, yeah.
And the tube is only 1/4 of an inch around.
Right, the tube is 1/4 of an inch. This is the stuff you learn on this thing. And this thing's a 1/2 inch. And so they schedule an ERCP, which is an endoscopy, where they go down your throat and then they take the stone out and place a stent in, and you're good to go. And I'm like, hallelujah, I'm going to be good. We have this date set. It was the day before my birthday. I was supposed to get this done, April 14th. The Friday before, which I think is the 11th. No. So the 10th, I guess.
It was the Friday before.
Whatever it was. The Friday before my birthday. Yeah, 10th. Wes had gone out and gotten all this stuff for my birthday. He's gonna make me sushi for my birthday. They got the cake mix that Lana wanted to make me a cake for my birthday.
I went to the Chinese grocery store and got all the ingredients.
All the stuff.
I got special treats. We were gonna do it up big.
Yeah. And he had bought sushi, actual pre-made sushi, and he was like, I thought it would last your birthday, but it won't. So let's eat it today. And this was the Friday before my birthday, which was on the following Wednesday. I was like, okay, that's fine. I love sushi. So we had sushi for lunch that day, and then I decided I was gonna go. I was like, I taught the kids school, I did office work, we ate lunch, blah blah blah. I'm gonna go sit out on the porch and just read my book. And I think I was out there for 10 minutes, and I started not feeling good. I was like, oh no, oh here we go. Woo! And then it amped up bad fast. And I went inside and I told him, I was like, I don't feel good. Ooh, I don't feel good. I'm really starting to feel bad. I don't know. And I couldn't get comfortable. Like I tried all sorts of positions
She had her head
that were
down in the couch and her butt in the air.
I didn't know what to do.
She was curled up in a fetal position, but face down.
Yeah, and then I was like, well, that doesn't feel good. And that didn't last 2 seconds.
It looks
and
silly.
well, I didn't.
There's no way that looks comfortable.
I couldn't get comfortable. I was in so much pain, and
I told you to go upstairs and go to bed. Just at least just lay down in bed.
Go to bed, and I couldn't get comfortable up there. I was like, Wes, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Oh my gosh, this is awful. This is awful. Ah! And I was like, I'm at a 10. I'm at a 10. I'm so at a 10. Like it was bad. And so we ended up heading to the ER, but to VCU this time. And then, it went from a 10 and then it kind of calmed down to maybe like a 7 or an 8. And I was like, well, if it's calming down, it's probably going to keep going down. I think we should go home. Like at this point, probably by the time we get there, it'll be even lower and then it'll just keep going down and we've just wasted. Let's just go home. So we just kind of made a nice little scenic loop and went home.
We've done emergency room visits where they check her heart and say, yeah, go see your primary care guy. We've been sent home before. They don't care.
Right. It's not life threatening. So, here's something for the pain and go home. Bye. So, okay. So I was like, that's all they're going to do. It's still pretty bad. It's not, it's going down. Let's just go home. So we did. And then I went upstairs and it did not go down.
She didn't watch TV. She didn't read a book. She didn't have her phone. She just writhed around. I can't say the word.
Probably for the next 6 hours.
She just laid in bed, tossing and turning, trying to get comfortable.
Not feeling good. Not feeling good at all. And so
11 o'clock at night.
That night, Wes was like, well, this isn't going anywhere. We need to go back.
Well, I'm ready to go to bed. And you said, well, I'll go sleep on the couch. And I said, you're the sick one. I'll sleep on the couch. Wait a second. Why are we negotiating this? You've been sick for 6 hours? Let's go to the emergency room.
So we ended up going to the emergency room. And it when I started moving to get down to the car, it got worse.
You collapsed on the floor upstairs?
Worse. Yeah. I couldn't. Yeah. So we went to the emergency room.
Every bump in the road, I got yelled at?
It was awful. Every little movement made it worse. So we get to the emergency room, and I told the people, I said, I know I have a 1/2 inch stone at the top of my bile duct. I'm supposed to get it out on Tuesday, but I am in severe pain. So I don't know what's going on, but something's happening with it. I hurt. Okay, take my information. Go have a seat.
This hospital is different than the one
Friday night, downtown Richmond.
It is loaded with homeless people, drunk people, stab wound victims, people just going, oh, including that one going, oh,
yeah,
real loud.
You don't know, I wasn't that loud, but
for you it was loud.
I felt awful.
You were verbal.
I didn't care.
Yeah,
you don't care at that point. You just hurt.
But I just know it's going to be a long wait because we've been there 30 minutes. They haven't called a single person in this room.
Nobody.
So I've never parked at this hospital before.
30 people behind, and I'm like, nobody's gonna call back yet. Oh dear God, please, dear God, let them just start taking people. Come on,
We've never been at this hospital before, so I parked at a 30-minute or less parking out front. It's been 30 minutes, so I go to the lady at the front. So I parked out here. Never been to this hospital before. Am I gonna get towed? Yeah, you probably shouldn't park there longer than 30 minutes. You have to go down the block around and then go to the parking garage. I don't know where that is. Okay, thank you. Natalie, I'll be right back. When I came back, Natalie was gone.
No, you hadn't left yet, and they called my name. And I got taken back. And you said, I got to move the car. Will you still be here by the time you get? And the lady was like, oh, yeah, I think you got plenty of time. And so you went back to move you left to move the car, and she took my blood pressure, she took my temperature, she made me stand up on a scale, which I was like, lady, are we really worried about that right now? When I move, it hurts. But I did it. I didn't say that. I just thought that in my head. And like she did whatever the heck else she had to do, bracelet, whatever, whatever. And then sometimes you get back to that little room where they do that stuff and they send you back to the waiting room. This time another nurse popped in and said, she's got a room. She's don't send her back. She's got a room. Oh. Because I knew, again, this is going to sound druggy, but I knew once I get back there, I get medicine of some sort or another, and let's start working on it. If you're going to make me start with the morphine, or you're going to make me start with the Tylenol stuff, then go to the morphine, then I can get the Dilaudid. Just let's start the process. Like, I was in pain. He came back right when they were about to take me back to that room. And so the nurse that was there, I explained, I was like, this sounds bad. I know it sounds like I'm a druggie, but I swear I'm not. But can we just skip the morphine? Can you please just give me Dilaudid? That's what works. And she goes, oh, if you know that's what works for you, that makes it easier on me. Yeah, we'll start with that. No problem. And she gave me a dose, and the pain, usually that just takes it away. But the pain was so bad this time. It took it from the 10 down to about a 7. And I was still in pain. She goes, you're still in pain in about 15 minutes. Let me know. I give you more. And I had to have more. And that took it down to about a 4. Like normally this stuff wipes the pain out, but not this time. So I was in so much pain. They did another CT scan, right? They did another CT scan. Why? I don't know why they did a CT. They had the other one that shows them. I don't know.
Maybe they're looking to see if something moved.
Yeah, maybe that. I don't know. But I had another CT scan. And then they also did an ultrasound of my liver because my liver enzymes were through the roof again.
And ultrasounds, I can't watch them. You only see ultrasounds when somebody's pregnant, and that's what they do to see the baby. I'm seeing faces. I'm seeing 2
In
eyes
my
and a
liver.
mouth. And I'm in your liver. I'm seeing
Okay.
faces.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't look at that screen.
Oh,
I hope she ain't pregnant. What the heck
In
is
my
going
liver?
on?
No. But anyway, then you have all these people come in. And of course, this is VCU, so it's a students. It's a medical school too. So you have medical students coming in too. So you have like a group of 4 or 5 people that came in. I have no idea which one was a student and which one was a doctor. But anyway, they're like, so you're going to be admitted for the weekend and your surgery will be on Monday. And if for some reason they can't get to you on Monday, you do still have your time slot for Tuesday. But you're going to be staying here for pain management. And I just went, oh, like I don't want to stay here over the weekend. Like, can we do a temporary fix of some sort somehow and I can go home until I can come back on Tuesday? Like, I gotta, I don't want to stay here. But God knew what he was doing because we had no shows that weekend, which was good. That is why.
Well, we had that one that's what it was. That one canceled.
Was it that weekend?
Yeah.
Oh wow. But anyway, so God knew what he was doing. So that was early hours of the morning on Saturday. I got a room at like 6 in the morning. They took me up, and that first roommate was horrific.
But also, while we're in the emergency room, this is 11 o'clock at night. We get an ER. She doesn't get a room till 6 in the morning. You cannot sleep. In this ER, it's downtown Richmond. The lady across the way is begging for an abortion, even though her baby's fine. But the other clinic said I had an atopic pregnancy. Your baby is perfectly fine. But if you want an abortion, I can give you Planned Parenthood information, or we can do it here.
You can hear everything.
You can hear everything because it's just a curtain. It's just a paper curtain with all the other rooms. Mm-hmm. Another guy is locked to his bed rail because he's going to jail right after they leave the hospital. We heard about that. We heard the other person didn't speak English and they had to do a telephone thing. I'm with the thing with the voice activation. Yeah.
Yeah, interpreter. Yeah.
It was loud. You can't sleep in that.
Yeah.
And I was freaking out the whole time thinking, did sushi cause this? I bought her sushi for her birthday.
No, sushi didn't cause it. It didn't cause it. So anyway, so yeah, I finally get a room, and it's like we're just gonna be hanging here until whenever. And then they're always taking blood and they're doing this, that, and the other thing. Um and I don't know what time of day it was. I really don't remember, but I know I got freezing cold. What time of day was that?
That was nighttime. It was night.
So it was like Saturday night, I
Yeah.
guess. And I was like, blah, 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 I'm freezing. Like I couldn't control the shivers. And I know they got me 2 blankets. Next thing I remember is the nurse took the temperature thing away from me and said, "Yep, we're in fever range. It's 101.2." And then the next thing I remember is ice packets going under my armpits. And then the next thing I remember, and apparently this took a while.
I'm talking to her the whole time. She tells me later, I don't remember talking to you.
I don't remember any of it. That's all I remember. So the next thing I remember is I feel like I was in asleep or something, but I just opened my eyes and looked over at you and said, "Whew, I am drenched. I think that means my fever broke, right?" Like, I mean, I was drenched it was gross. But yeah, my fever broke. And then Sunday morning they came in and they said, your surgery got moved up. You're having it today. And I was like, yay! I have no idea why. But good, yay, good. That's wonderful. But I don't know why. They didn't tell me why. And then figure out, oh, it's because you have an infection in your blood. So now it's become an emergency. Oh, okay. Come to find out later, like after we leave the hospital, an infection in your blood means you've gone septic. I didn't know that. I always thought septic was somebody had an open wound and
it wasn't cleaned properly.
It got an infection, and then the infection went internal. Like it got spread through your body. I did not know it was just a blood infection that you could get from apparently having a stone stuck in you for 4 years. I didn't know. And I didn't know I had gone septic until like I went home. So I didn't realize that those two things are the same thing.
Check us out online at wesiseli.com and patreon.com/Wes_Isley for behind-the-scenes videos, blooper videos, never-before-seen footage, discounts on merchandise, magic trick tutorials, and more. That's Wes Iseli, spelled Wesiseli.